It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
It's showtime. How are we doing, everybody? What's happening? It is time for the Geno Jones Show. I am coming to you live from my beautiful posh studio here on the South Carolina coast. Ladies and gentlemen, the Geno Jones Show. I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. in Los Angeles, 7:30 a.m. in Tokyo, where the United States Olympic athletes are doing their thing. The women, especially the women, the female swimmers, the women, the black women, track and field are just showing out. We had an African-American female wrestler that won a gold medal. The first time that there's ever been a black woman to win a gold medal in wrestling. So that is just amazing. In, I believe, the 400 sprint was really like kind of medium. It's longer than the sprints. Sprints are 100 and 200 meters. 400 meters is like a long distance sprint. Let's put it that way. You had two Americans, two black women, 1 and 2, gold and silver. So just congratulations. And Simone Biles, her final, well, for this Olympics, her final performance, she bounced back, and she was able to bounce back and get on the beam, not the beam, like that long beam there, and she got a gold medal, which was just amazing. The balance beam, as they call it. So congratulations to Simone Biles. And then the conversation afterwards, and we saw it this morning. So now we're going to get into a lot of that shortly. Today's theme on monologue is like, make sure that you take care of your mental health, and we got to take care of each other. But the Geno Jones Show is brought to you this week by Designer Cuts, their Community Day Party. Yes, they are having a Community Day Party. Shout out to Markel Bailey. He is the CEO, the master barber, the technician, the hair care specialist, and instructor of Designer Cuts. And he is the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. So, Designer Cuts Community Day Party, celebrating their 5th year anniversary of being in business, doing great things. Celebration. It's a celebration. Really, he's giving back to the community. It's going to be August 8th at a beautiful venue called The Creme, 8440 Dorchester Road, here in North Charleston, South Carolina, all part of the Charleston, South Carolina Metro. From 4 until 8 p.m. I'm going to be your host and the king of MCs, as I am. So come on out, and you can make donations. Kel on Instagram, Kelby Cutting Up, KelBeCuttinup, Kelby Cutting Up on Instagram, where you can make donations. It is a fundraiser. The funds are going to purchase school supplies for children and families in need that will be given away the following week. So we're going to cover that and talk about that also. So that is my sponsor for this week, Designer Cuts, over there in the Charleston Metro, actually Goose Creek, South Carolina. I know that's a name, right? Goose Creek. Got a lot of goose, or it would be geese. Got a lot of geese in that creek. So we call it Goose Creek because them geese are in that creek. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Now, Biggie you're not, Tupac you ain't either. So don't feel bad. Yeah, I got a little flow when I want to get into it. I digress. So let's talk about, today's show is just a monologue. It's just me and you. And I want to talk about take care of your mental health. For me and for many people, the greatest gift that Simone Biles was able to give the world, and it really, first of all, the most important gift that she was able to give was the gift that she gave to herself. It was the gift of self-care. I can't stress that enough. And in giving herself the gift of self-care, stepping back, knowing that mentally that she was not in a good place that would affect her physically which would put her life in jeopardy. She could have been paralyzed. She could have killed herself. And she talked about when she realized she was practicing and doing these incredible flips 10, 12, 15 feet in the air. And I saw this morning talking to Hoda Kotb on the Today Show, and she said she realized she was up in the air, and they showed a picture, and the look in her eyes, she was frightened because she said she didn't have a sense of exactly where she was. And she's 10, 12 feet in the air. She said she didn't know if she was going to land on her feet, if she was going to land on her back or her head. That means she could have paralyzed herself, or she could have died from those injuries. And she realized that if she tried to tough it through, she would hurt her teammates. And she would have denied her teammates the opportunity to shine like they did, to win the team gold medal, and for them to win individual medals, gold medals. A couple of her teammates who stepped in, competed in different events, and they were able to get gold medals. Another one got a silver medal, another one got a bronze medal. So it was the most unselfish thing she could do. And it was the most selfish thing in a good way. When I say selfish in a good way, you can't take care of anyone else unless you can truly, truly take care of yourself. You can think you're Superman and Superwoman, but if you're not right, if you really can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else. As a matter of fact, you'll do more harm than good by just trying to fake it or tough it through. Or as we used to say back in the day, fronting. I'm a front. No, you're not good. And you're going to screw it up for everybody else. And you could get somebody hurt or worse, yourself or someone else, depending on the situation. There's no shame in self-care. It's not tapping out. It's taking a break. It's stepping back. Just computers. We have to reboot computers. How many times has your computer started going crazy and acting crazy, and it's like, okay, wait a minute. I got to shut this thing off temporarily, not permanently, but so I don't burn it out, so it can continue to be effective for me to do my job effectively and productively, so I can make money. All right, let me just put it in some terms that you can understand. That this computer, I need to shut it down or reboot it. We have, as humans, we have to reboot ourselves every day. That's what sleep is for. The best thing for your immune system, so you don't have to take my word for it. Talk to your doctor. Talk to any immunologist. Talk to any doctor that specializes in, just your immune system, especially if you have any autoimmune disease. My mother has lupus. And they will tell you, one of the best things, really, probably the best thing for your immune system is sleep. A good night's sleep, sound sleep. But now, if your sleep is affected by stress, which can really affect not just your sleep, but it can affect your entire body. It can release toxins in your body, and enough stress, it can kill you. It can cause your body to release toxins and develop all kind of different conditions. Don't take my word for it. Talk to your doctor or doctors. Get a second, third opinion. You can Google this information. I'm just giving it to you straight. So, self-care, just like we reboot a computer, just like you have to take your car in to get the oil changed, to get a tune-up, we have to get a tune-up. We have to reboot ourselves. And there's no shame in self-care. The shame is that for too long, this society, and not just this society, but we're talking about America. We're here in America. America is notorious for it. Has shamed self-care. And unfortunately, and it's not primarily, it's not just our fault. There are other factors. Yeah, and we grew up in a society where we were taught unhealthy, destructive things about ourselves as black people, so we could be controlled, manipulated, and exploited financially, physically, sexually. I could go on and on and on. The exploitation of the black man and woman in America. So I digress. I won't go down that rabbit hole. So the sin is that we as a society, we have shamed self-care as if, oh, well, you're soft. Instead of self-care, you would be labeled, we would label each other or others, oh, you're soft, you just tough it up. But the same people who supposedly were tough and strong on the outside, the strong, silent type, many of them were suffering on the inside. And the stress releases hormones. There's a hormone called cortisol. I want you to look that word up. Google cortisol. It is called the fight or flight hormone. You've heard stories to where people have been in a life and death situation. I've heard instances of where there's been a car accident and a mother has seen her infant child being pinned by the car. And somehow a woman, just an average size a small diminutive woman, be able to literally lift and move a car off of her child because our body releases something called cortisol. And it's a surge of hormones that will temporarily give you this extra energy and strength. But cortisol naturally is to be released only in small doses. That is the way our body works. Cortisol, our bodies are not meant to have cortisol coursing through our veins on a regular basis. But if you are living in a state of constant high stress, your body is releasing cortisol on a regular basis. So now listen, I'm not going to play doctor, but I will tell you this, and then you can follow up. You can go down the rabbit hole or just call your doctor or whatever. When your body is under continuous, virtually non-stop, high levels of stress, you are releasing stress hormones, and cortisol is one. And after a while, like anything else, if you get too much of any medicine or any hormone, too much of it can do your body harm. It can harm your blood vessels, and it can harm other organs, livers, kidneys, your heart. So I'm just telling you that there is a mental, and it affects us mentally. It can affect our brain function. So self-care is so important. And we can't stress it enough. We have to make it a part of our culture that we always focus on self-care, and that we encourage, we support, insist that our loved ones, even strangers, engage in self-care. Because there's no way that I can really, truly love you fully if I can't love myself. And I can't help you fully in a whole way if I need help. And if I'm lying about it and in denial, I can't be the best version of myself. That means I can't be the best version of myself to you. So let us support each other. Let us engage in self-care. Let us reduce the stress, not just in our own lives. Let's reduce the stress in each other's lives and make sure that we are doing everything we can, not to increase the stress, but to decrease the stress in our own lives and in the lives of not just the people that we love, but strangers. Because it is true, we are our brothers and sisters keepers, which will lead me to this. We have to take care of each other. I'm going to say this again. I've delivered this message so many times, but it's important because if this message means that I can talk or convince, cajole, somehow get one person who's hesitant about getting vaccinated, I would have done my job. All right? These vaccinations, these vaccines, not perfect, because now we're dealing with a what they call a variant. The original COVID-19 viruses are living organisms. And just like you and me, their job, they want to live, they want to survive. So they mutate or form variants, which is a mutation of the original virus because it is doing what nature in biology has programmed it to do. Or if you want to put it in religious terms, you can say, or God created viruses to do. Viruses are living organisms. And any living organism wants to stay alive and survive and thrive. And how does it do that? By finding a new host or new body. And if it finds enough new bodies, it can get smarter. It can get stronger. It can mutate and change forms and outsmart the different medicines that we create to kill it or suppress it. So even if you don't give a damn, you're like, I'd rather die than take the vaccine. Like I said, you have a right to be suicidal, but you do not have a right to be homicidal. You do not have the right to spread a deadly virus that could kill somebody that I love, or somebody that my neighbor loves, or somebody that is a total stranger to me or you, but could kill someone else, or someone else's daughter, or aunt, or parent, or coworker, or church member, or fraternity or sorority brother or sister. We don't. So I don't want to hear this about my rights. Stop with your rights. All right, we have a right to do a lot of stuff, but with those rights comes consequences and responsibility. And we have a moral. We got to look for all these so-called religious people and your sense of morality. Some folks are so holy and so holier than thou until it comes to themselves. And then they throw all that holiness right out the damn window. And selfishness steps right in. I'm holy, but it's like I'm moral, but it's like, oh, your sins, oh, you're going to go to hell for your sins. But then when it comes to yourself and your sins, but that's different now. Hold on now. It's a little different. And then we start making excuses and we try to justify it and we try to manipulate it. Say, well, it ain't really like them. All these, we have so many excuses. It's amazing. We got 1,000,001 excuses. Well, but it's different because this and that, and my sin ain't. And I've seen a lot of Bibles. I've read them. I've never seen a point system for sin. This sin is minus 500 points. Oh, but your sin is only minus 2. No, there's no point system for sin. All right? And this is not a religious or theological conversation. It's a common sense, but I want to appeal to your sense of morality. For so many people who claim that they are people of faith, be it, Christians or practice Islam or Judaism, Buddhism, whatever. Don't talk to me about your faith. Don't tell me how much of a Christian or Muslim or Buddhist you are. Don't tell me. I'll see it by the way you behave and act. And I'll really see it in how you interact and how you treat other people, especially people, the least of these. people who you may perceive or society may perceive as being less than you or having less than, not as educated, not as much money, not as sophisticated, not living, not as polished. How do you treat that person? I've always had a simple motto professionally. I treat the CEO like I treat the janitor, and I treat the janitor like I treat the CEO in terms of human respect and dignity. Because guess what? The janitor one day could be the CEO, and the CEO one day could be forced to become a janitor. Oh, it can happen. Karma's real. It absolutely can happen. So please, 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 please. Right. You want to live your life, you don't want to get vaccinated, you don't want to wear a mask, then you need to stay away from people. But you do not, your selfishness, whatever your sense of entitlement or your sense of freedom, you are not free. Your freedom can't jeopardize my freedom. I can't lose my freedom or my life. A stranger can't lose their life because of your freedom. Your freedom doesn't justify that freedom to take the freedom and the life of someone else. It doesn't, period. Without consequences. It's just that simple. And it's really a shame for these adults who have children of age that can't even get a vaccine, too young to get vaccinated. But they don't want to get vaccinated. God, children didn't ask to come here. You have a moral, yes, you have a moral obligation to protect these children from any potential danger, even if that danger is you. All right? I'm just, sometimes you just gotta shoot straight. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. So I'm coming to you in a straight line. Or there was a term when I remember being in school and we would do fractions and you would have to reduce the fraction to its least common denominator. And I'm just trying to reduce this thing all the way down to its least common denominator so anybody can understand it. Make it easy for you to reach. Like if you have kids, there's certain things, certain items that could be poisonous to a child. You put it out of their reach. You make sure you put it on a shelf that they can't reach because they're not tall enough. But if it's something that you want that child to reach, you're going to put it where the child can reach it. I'm trying to put it where any and everybody can reach it and get it, whether you want to or not. So, take care of yourself. Truly take care of yourself. Take care of your mental health, because if your mental health isn't right, it definitely will affect your physical health. And you can't help anyone else until you can truly help yourself. And please, we are now looking at 8 billion people on this planet. And we are all on this planet together, whether we like it or not. We don't have an option. Unless you are Elon Musk or the dude that used to own Amazon. Yeah, that dude. Or Richard Branson that owns, like he used to own Virgin Airlines and the whole 9 yards. So unless you got that kind of money and you can hire a company and build a rocket, and all it could do was go up for about 11 minutes and then come right back down. So the bottom line is, it's 8 billion of us on this planet, whether we like it or not. We're all in this together. So we really have to protect each other, even if we don't want to. Because if I don't protect you, at the end of the day, I'm not protecting myself, because this virus doesn't care, and it will eventually find you. Like the Delta variant is so contagious. It is as contagious. Have you ever had chicken pox? Have you ever been in a house as a child and you had chicken pox? Chicken pox spread through the whole house, spread through whole schools. Highly contagious, more contagious than a cold or the flu. So the bottom line is, the longer we do not all get vaccinated, or at least 80+%, or this term herd immunity. Polio used to kill people, and it used to leave people in wheelchairs. Smallpox was deadly back in the 40s. It was killing people. We came up with vaccines that virtually eradicated, virtually no one gets polio. You don't hear of anyone getting smallpox. You know why? Because we created vaccines. And when you say, well, yeah, I'm good, God's gonna take care of me. Well, guess what? God took care of you. You know how he took care of you? Because God gave scientists and researchers the intelligence, the brains, the skill, and the technology to develop a vaccine to save your life. That's how God took care of you. Just like he can take care of you by giving people the medical skills to perform the surgery, diagnose a condition, or be able to prescribe you some medicine that can save your life, or at least allow you to manage whatever chronic condition that you have, so your quality of life will be pretty good or very good. So that's how God got you. That's how God looked out for you. Please get your vaccines. Wear your mask, especially if you don't want to get a vaccine. Okay? You just don't have like I said, your rights end when your rights and freedom could kill somebody else. You ain't free to do that without consequences. All right? Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you, and God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Like, share, and subscribe to the Geno Jones channel right here on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe. Share this episode, share all my back episodes with any and everybody you know, people you love, you like, that you don't like, you can't stand. I'm good with it. Folks you even hate. Share it with everybody. Or as the rapper Nelly would say, repping St. Louis, everybody. Right? So please like, share, and subscribe. The Geno Jones Show brought to you this week by Designer Cuts Community Day, happening this Sunday here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro area at La Creme. Beautiful venue, 8440 Dorchester Road, from 4 until 8 p.m. It's a celebration of the 5th year anniversary of Designer Cuts. It's actually a fundraiser. The proceeds will go to purchase school supplies that will be given away the following week, just before children go to school, back to school here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro. Shout out to Mr. Markel Bailey, the CEO, the master barber, the hair care specialist, the instructor for Designer Cuts. All right, you can check him out. You can get more information, KLB Cutting Up on Instagram, KELBECUTTINUP, or you can find him on Facebook, Markel Bailey, MARKELBAILEY, Markel Bailey. Shout out to Alexandria Jones, the official wardrobe stylist and consultant for the Geno Jones Show. She is a fashion designer. She's a fashion design major and a fashion designer attending my alma mater, Columbia College, Chicago. You can check her out on Instagram, Lexie, Lexie _ Nicole, Nicole, Lexie _ Nicole Designs. Also Alexandria Jones. Alexandria is Alexandria. Alexandria Jones. She's a supermodel also. So check her out. Lexie Nicole Designs. Brilliant, talented young lady. And Mr. Bruce Gage, also official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. Back there in the 312 and the 778 and the 708 Chicago. Check him out. You can find him on Instagram and on Facebook. Just type in Bruce Gage, Gage. Man, I love you guys so much. I really do. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for watching. Mother, you know I love you more than life itself. I got to get out of here. Tomorrow, Thursday, a brand new episode of the Geno Jones Show, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 p.m. Chicago time, 3:30 p.m. out in Los Angeles. So until then, go back, watch this episode again, share it, email it, copy the link, tag it, send it to 100 people. Tell me, man, you all need to listen to what Geno had to say on his show today. You really, really need to do that. All right? But until tomorrow, 6:30 p.m., once again, thank you so much for watching. I love you and I appreciate it so much. And as always, I close the show by saying, please be blessed. Thanks. See you next show. Holla. I'm out.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.